Hi friends, I hope all is well. A while ago, I received a comment from a viewer named Alma about doing a video of the paints and brushes that I use. I thought it was a good idea because I can put that information in one video on my channel that can be used as a reference. Along with paints and brushes, I'm adding a few other current favorite supplies as well. I'll try to include links for all the supplies I mention in the description box. Those links will not be affiliated. I will also include timestamps if you want to jump to a certain section. I'll rearrange my table, then we'll start with the paints that I use. I currently use acrylic paint and watercolor in my art practice. For inexpensive acrylic paint, I like Blick's matte acrylic paint and Paper Artsy's fresco finished chalk acrylics. Both brands have a large range of colors that you can choose from and are a good quality for the price. Matte acrylic paint is great to use in sketchbooks and art journals because they're less likely to cause the pages to stick together. I also like to use matte acrylic paints for monoprinting. Personally, I like the look of matte acrylic paint, so I tend to use it a lot. If you're not familiar with either brand, Blick's is a US company and Paper Artsy is a French company. I live in the US, so I typically purchase more paint from Blick because it's more accessible. I have purchased Paper Artsy from a US Etsy shops in the past. I'll try to find one to link. Even though I gravitate towards matte acrylic paint, I do use regular acrylics as well. I mostly use Liquitex Basics and Blick Studio Acrylic. Both brands offer a wide variety of colors. Also, they are good quality acrylic paint for the price. Blick Studio Acrylic paints can be purchased individually and as sets. That's it for acrylic paints. I'll move these out of the way so we can talk about watercolors. I use a few different watercolor brands in my art practice. I like to have inexpensive watercolor set on hand to create quick sketches, to record a design idea, or to loosen up my hand before working with expensive watercolor. I find that the older I get, the more I need to loosen my hands before an art session. I'm not brand loyal in regards to inexpensive watercolor. They all work basically the same. I like this set because there's a variety of colors. For artist grade watercolors, I like Core Watercolors, which is a golden brand, and Kiritake Gansai Tambai. The Core watercolors come in a tube, and Kiritake comes in a pan. Both are very pigmented but easy to work with. When I decided to get back into watercolor a few years ago, I purchased individual pans of the Kiritake watercolors first. Just basic colors, black, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and indigo. Once I used those colors for a while and I knew that I liked them, then I purchased a few more that I knew I would use: vermilion, sap green, turquoise green deep, and gem pink. Kiritake does sell sets as well. One more thing, the watercolors come packaged in a beautiful box, which is a nice treat. After using the Kiritake watercolors for a while, I decided to try the Core watercolors. I purchased 2 sets, Earth Colors and High Chroma, because I liked all the colors in each set. I wouldn't buy sets unless I knew that I could use all the colors. As I mentioned, the watercolors come in tubes. Also, I like the inside of the container that can be used as a palette. Next, let's talk about brushes. I'll insert a photo of my complete brush supply. It's not too extensive. I personally don't think it's necessary to have a wide variety of brushes. I tend to use the same brushes over and over again. I think you can achieve beautiful artwork with a limited supply of brushes. Also, I do keep worn out or damaged brushes because they can be used to create great texture. I won't go over all my brushes. I'll only discuss a few of my favorites. I have a set of these Princeton Velvet Touch brushes that include a round size 4, long round size 8, a 3/8 angle shader, and a 3/4 inch wash brush. This is a good variety of brushes to have, so I appreciate them being offered in a set. I'm surprised how much I use this angle brush. It's become one of my favorites. I use it to paint around shapes and along an edge. I was skeptical about the claims of a comfort handle, but it is smooth and nice to hold for an extended period of time. I like using this 3/4 inch brush to paint washes of color, but I also like this Princeton Select 1-inch brush for the same purpose. Both are good to have, especially if you're painting a ground layer with multiple paint colors like an ombre. One brush can be used for each color, or a separate brush to blend where the two colors meet. As you can tell, I like Princeton synthetic brushes. I found that they're good quality brushes for the price. Other brushes that I use a lot is this inexpensive set of 3 synthetic brushes that I use to apply varnish to my artwork. There's a 1-inch, 2-inch, and 3-inch in this set. The brushes are soft, so it's easy to apply a smooth layer of varnish. Last time I checked, the set was under $8. I only use these brushes for varnishing, so that's why I marked each one to remind myself. I don't want any cross-contamination between varnish and paint. I also like having a few hardware store brushes on hand. They're great for adding texture either on a gel plate or by hand painting. Good sizes to have are a 2-inch flat brush and a 1-inch angle brush. Both are good manageable sizes. I'll move these brushes aside so we can talk about a few other favorite supplies I'm currently using, starting with adhesives. I don't use a glue stick to collage that much anymore, but it's a good supply to have on hand. It's great for small collage sketches, gluing down an edge of a paper, or creating while you're away from home. I'm not brand loyal, but I do look for one that has a strong hold, like this Elmer's Extra Strength glue stick. Lately, I've been using Mod Podge or Golden Soft Gel Medium. Both adhesive have a strong hold, but are at different price points. Other miscellaneous supplies are Golden's Absorbent Ground. I have 2 videos where I talk about this supply that I'll link in the description area. I want to continue using this in my art practice because I think I've only touched the surface on what I can do. For paper, I like using Blake's Sulfite 80-pound drawing paper. It's good for monoprinting or painting collage papers. It also comes in 50 and 60-pound weights, but I tend to use mostly the 80-pound. It's a good strong paper weight. Also, it's a good inexpensive paper that you can buy in bulk. I recommend having some sort of smoothing tool in your art supplies. This is a plastic smoothing tool used in auto body repair. It's an inexpensive option. There are polymer and silicone tools that are similar but more expensive. It depends on your budget. The main thing to look for is one that has a rounded edge so it won't tear the paper while smoothing it. Also, you can use this tool to get interesting patterns when monoprinting, or you can use it to spread paint on a surface. It's a very versatile tool. We all use paper towels when creating, but I would recommend having at least 1 roll of Scott shop towels. This blue towel hardly leaves any fibers when you use it, so it's great to blot up excess paint on your artwork. Also, I like to use shop towels to rest my hand on it when painting, so the oils from my hand don't transfer onto the artwork. The last supply I want to talk about is white ceramic plates that you get at thrift stores. If you're on a budget, these plates work great as paint palettes. It's inexpensive, sturdy, and reusable. This plate is 30 years old. I do admit I have a porcelain flower-looking palette that I purchased from Amazon, but I hardly ever use it. I wanted to mention thrift store plates as an alternative to expensive paint palettes or paper palettes. So these are my current favorite art supplies. I should mention that this list changes over time. If you like this type of video, I can do an updated list from time to time. I'm curious to know your favorite art supplies. Let me know in the comment section. I appreciate Amma for recommending this type of video. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care.